today. I hope everyone is doing well today. Let's talk about it. Now we know who helped Keon King with his bootleg master plan that fell apart like a bad cornbread. Yes, y'all already know we're going to talk about it. We're going to let some more people get in, and then we will start talking about Keon and his helpers. Yes, and one of them is closer than we thought. Yeah, y'all already know we're going to talk about it. In the meantime, I will put on the disclaimer. This video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyrights Acts in 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Yes, fair use. All rights and credits go directly to its rightful owner. This video is purely for fair use, opinion, and entertainment. Enjoy. And we also want to add that everything in this video is alleged. Yes. Yes, family. So we're going to let a couple of more people get in here, and then we will start talking about this new update. And we're going to talk about that SNAP program that November is supposed to be a pause on that SNAP. And we're going to talk about that as well. And we will also talk about a gentleman named Princeton. Sad story going on with his case. And then we will also talk about Marvin Winans. He wanted $2,000 from this lady, but we'll talk about that too in a minute. But first, we're going to talk about Keon, and his bootleg plan, him and his homegirls. They bootleg plan that fell apart just like a bad cornbread. Yes. Salute. You have enough jewels for a gift, sin. Okay. What's up, Clay? Clay G Beats in the house. He said he got his popcorn. Yeah. Yes, you got your popcorn. Thank you so much. Glad to see you joining in today. Yes, thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you so much. Well, let's get right on into it, because y'all know that I think we was overlooking some things, because me and my team, we sat down and it was like jaw-dropping, family, that Keon and his helpers, we basically know who it is now. Yes. And then it explains it like in probably 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs at the most, right? And then we realize that one of them is very close to Keon. Wow. So, but thank you so much, Clay G Beats. Clay G Beats in the house. Y'all go and y'all check out his channel as well. He has an awesome channel. Yes, he does. I'm just letting some more people come in, but I'm going to go ahead on and start, because I can't wait too long. And then a lot of people was telling me that they are not getting their notifications, and that's just not my channel. It's a lot of channels that are not getting their notifications, and hopefully YouTube will get that right and kicking and going, But anyway, family, let's talk about it. And please subscribe to the channel if you are not a subscriber already. It is so greatly appreciated. So let's talk about it, family, because y'all know inside of the affidavit, they named 2 chicks, okay? One of them last name is Sanchez, and the other one last name is Brown, right? That's in the affidavit. Now, it's two of them that it seems like both of these girls are Keon's bottom bees. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But one of them is closer than we originally thought. Because remember when we said, and I said in the last video, well, the two women house that they search, don't see any connection there. Slow it down. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. So you remember when Keon was pinged all over the place, okay? But not only was Keon pinged all over the place, somebody else was pinged with Keon. The time that he picked up Kada from the time he did something to Kada. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and y'all hit that like button, please. Yes, please do that for your sister. Okay, I'm gonna give one more shout out. Starboy, thank you so much. Said love you, Starboy. Thank you, 12 nights. Jesus Christ, love you back, love you back, love you back. Really do. Sending love right back to you. Sharon Cannon 25 say caught alive. Yes, you caught alive. I'm so glad you caught alive. I'm so glad all of y'all caught the live. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to give some more shout outs, but let me start with this first. Okay. Now, remember when they went to these two female houses because Keon was pinged going to these chick houses. And they say he resides there every now and then as well. And the two chicks in that house, their last name is one is Sanchez, one is Brown. Okay. And so when the 5-0 visit that house, they was looking for Keon, but he was not there. So they searched that house. And that's when they found the construction bags, a hammer, and things that not too good for what he is being accused of. Okay. It was just things in there that was just kind of strike it as strange to have those type of things inside of that house. Okay. Unless somebody is into construction work over there, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. So I was wondering why would when they said they went over to these female houses and things like that, I was like, why would they even risk themselves with Keon? Well, it makes a hell of a lot of sense. Yes, it does. It makes a hell of a lot of sense, Keon. Now, y'all know these are the charges that Keon got on top of his head. You got the kidnapping for ransom. You got the false imprisonment. You got the criminal use of communication facility. You got the stalking, and you have the reckless endangering another person, tampering with fabricating evidence and things like that, okay? He have about 12 counts on his head. Then y'all would see he also have here where he has the murder, deletion, put it that way, the robbery, theft, VUFA 6105, VUFA 6106, VUFA 6108, and the PIC M1. Okay, we'll go over those in a minute. Tampering with evidence, M2, and abusing a body, a corpse. Okay, so all that is in there. So let's go over, first of all, with that VUFA. What do that mean? Okay, his 6105. And that's basically, it prohibits an individual for possessing and using or manufacturing any type of pow weapon, okay? And so he had that, even though he was already a convicted felon, because he had a rap sheet already. Okay, so he wasn't supposed to have that. So they charging him with that, okay? Because remind you, Kada Scott was pow. Okay. And then y'all will see that other charge was PIC, MI. Can refer to a few different things, including the app for creating wallpaper and wedges. The particles in cell modeling interface, okay? Standards and scientific stimulations. A fast hiring platform for seasonal work to determine which PICMI you mean, considers the contents as apps for creating phone backgrounds, a standard for scientific computer codes. So basically, like we said, Keon then was trying to, with that Text Now app, they were doing a whole lot of shaky, flaky stuff with that Text Now app, okay? And we're going to explain that in a minute because that's going to tell a lot about the pings and things like that because we really broke that down. So let me say shout out. Shout out to Susan Rodrigo. Hello. Hey, Lady Cafe. Hello, Patrick. Hello, hello. Hello, Susan. Yes. Appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. So now, let's get on to Keon. Now, y'all remember here, it says suspect charged with deletion in Kada Scott's demise as video reveals a possible accomplice. Okay? And he's being charged with that theft and conspiracy because he took them people car, you know, who was doing Uber ride or whatever and left their car running and he snatched their car and that's the car he used to get Kada in. And y'all would see right here, Keon King had help in burying Kada Scott. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Okay, so, and they keep on saying that. And I just want y'all to check out this part right here. Right here. Now, don't know if y'all can see it real good, but I'm going to need y'all. I'll blow it up. If I have to, I'll blow it up like this, okay? Because there's certain things in here I want y'all to see, okay? So as y'all would see, it has here that T-Mobile records for Kada Scott phone, okay? That's her phone number, okay? Reveals 12 calls from a 304 number, okay? Between 9:25 p.m. and 10:12 p.m., okay? So remind you, she had 12 calls from a 304 number between this is the day, the night that she was missing, okay? She had 12 calls from this 304 number. That was Keon. Okay, he kept calling and he kept calling and he kept calling and he kept calling and he kept calling. So that in itself tells me if you got to call somebody 12 times between 9:25 p.m. and 10:12 p.m., then that obviously said that person don't want to talk to you. Okay, and you will see that was on the 4th. Okay. And the last one of the 12 calls, it only lasted for 43 seconds, okay? So that means this person kept calling Keon, because that's his 304 number, okay? He kept calling Kada's number. Kada's number is a 215, okay? And then that person kept calling her. That's the 304 number. Just kept on calling her. She don't answer. On that last call, she finally answers, okay? And that call lasts for 43 seconds, as y'all will see, okay? Now, check this out. Stay with me, family. Please stay with me. Don't get lost, okay? Don't get lost, because this is going to explain who was with Keon when this right here happened to Kada. It's going to explain it simply, okay? Now, then you will see that last call, the number, it was at 10:12. okay, using a tower service at 495 East, and that's on that Aberton Avenue, okay, that at 1024 her phone ceased all kind of network. So at 1024 it's no more, her phone is basically dead, okay. During that period where it went off the network, the missing person case was assigned to a detective, whatever. So remind y'all that somebody kept calling her, which is Keon, the 304 number, kept calling her 12 times between 9:25 p.m. to 9:12 p.m. Then all of a sudden, she talks to him that last 12th call for like 43 seconds. Okay? From that number at 10:12 is when she went on and talked to that person. And remind you, it wasn't that long later, 10:24, about 15 minutes later, her phone goes dead. Okay? Now y'all will see, it's going to get back to that. But you'll see on there, it says on, let me blow it up some so y'all can see that much. Okay. So y'all will see right here, it says on 10/7 at 3:31 a.m., the officers responded to a vehicle on fire. Okay. That was the car, that Hyundai, that was burned up. Okay. But I want to go to this part right here where y'all will see the joint, H and FBI Violent Crime Task Force investigate determined that number 304 was a text now app. Remember that 304 that kept calling Kada was a text now app. Okay, y'all see it right here. It's a text now app. So that's Keon. So we already know that Keon had his phone on him, right? Because it pinged him through the text now app. That's how he was calling Kada. Okay? Now, check it out. Check it out. Search warrants returns show communication between this number and Kada Scott from 9/28 to 10/4/2025. So September the 28th, Keon was calling Kada on 9/28. And he was calling her throughout that 10/4 right here, that 10/4/25. He was calling her on this number, 304. And I want y'all to stay with me because it's another number that's going to pop up. Okay? So he was calling her since September the 28th, all the way to that time right before he got ready to go to her job. He was calling her like 12 times. Okay? Off his phone. Off his phone. Remember that. Off his phone. Okay? Now, then you'll see on 10/2, the account messaged. Listen to this closely, family. On 10/2, this is 2 days before Kada passed away. Okay, this is 2 days prior. On 10/2, the account messaged, yo, Kada, this my new number. Kada replied, who this? And the user identified himself as Keon. Okay, y'all see he identified himself as Keon. Okay, that was on 10/2, remember. Now, check this out, because the news doesn't break this down, and I didn't see too many other people breaking this down. But when he calls her on 10/2/25, he said, hey, Kayla, this my new number. She said, who this? Because she don't know the that number. So she said, who this? But check this out. He had been using another number. Okay. But he says, check this out. He said, yeah, okay, this my new number. She said, who this? He said, this is Keon. Okay. That was on 10-2. After that, he don't say nothing else. She don't say nothing else. Then this affidavit jumps to 10-4. This is the day she passes away. This is the night he got her. Then it shows us on 10-4-2025 at 10:07 a.m. This is in the morning time before she even went to work. 10:07. Kayla Scott texts, "Kidnap me again," to which the subject replied, "Better be up too." But check this out. Why all of a sudden on 10-4, Kada just gonna text somebody and say, "Kidnap me again"? Y'all know that means take me away, let's go out, scoop me up, things like that. That's what the kidnap means. We need to tell our youngsters stop using that word, okay? Because that's not a word you need to be using loosely and for fun. But anyway, you see it jumps to 10-4, 10 o'clock in the morning. Kayla text, "Kidnap me too." So she just up at 10 something in the morning and just text somebody and say, "Kidnap me too." You know what I'm saying? Kidnap me again. That don't sound right. What went on between 10:07? See, that's missing. But I'm going to tell you what's missing, because Kada most likely thought she was talking to a female. And I'm going to tell you why. Here it go. That number said that it's Kel. Say, yo, okay, this me. This my new phone number. It's Keon saying that's his phone number. Then she waits to 10:04. Well, October the 4th. She waits until 10:07 a.m. and say, "Kidnap me again," in which the subject replied, "You better be up too." Okay. Now, if they talking about coming to get her from work, why would that person say you better be up too? Because obviously she's going to be up if she at work. See, that's why I said it's something in there missing that they're not revealing. It's something in there missing, but it's still going to tell us who was with Keon. Okay. But as you see, it's something missing, because after 10-2, she says nothing. She says nothing. Then it jumps to 10-4. All of a sudden in the morning at 10:07, she jumps up like she got Tourette's and say, "Hey, kidnap me again." What? Okay. So it's something missing in there. And that's why, I'm going to get to that right there. But anyway, y'all would see it's the person said, "You better be up too," followed by plans to meet later that night. The last exchange at 10:09 reads, "See me when you hear." CM, well, it say call me. Call me when you hear, basically. That's what CM is. Call me when you hear. That's what that means. So Kada was texting that number and said, "Call me when you hear." Check this out, though. Check this out. The number Kada was texting is a Text Now account, was registered to Madeline Brown, 19143@gmail.com, using Verizon IP address linked to the phone number 267. So, all this stuff right here, okay, this is my new number. That was not his number. That was Madeline's number. That's why she was like, "Who this?" Because she didn't know that number. Then he says, "It's Kale." After that, she don't reply to him no more until 2 days later on the 4th. Now it tells me that most likely, my opinion, a female then calls her on that same phone and say, girl, that one, he was messing with you. This my phone number, girl. This me. Oh, okay. Now Kada is communicating with this phone number because she's thinking it's a chick. It says that this number here is registered to Madeline Brown. Okay? Now, not only that, it says here that that's Natalie Brown number, and she was using a Text Now app too, but the phone is Verizon RTT, and T-Mobile TAD data shows the suspect and Kayla device together in the area of 495 East Abington Avenue around 10:15 p.m. So this phone number and the 305 number, which is Keon, is together at 10:15. They are together at 10:15. It clearly says it. The Text Now account was registered to Madeline Brown. Okay, her Gmail using Verizon IP address linked to phone number the 267. Remind y'all, Keon number is 304. Y'all see it right there on the top right. Okay, so that's his number, and he was using the Text Now app on his too. Okay, but that other number, which is this one right here, data shows the suspect and Kada device together in the area of 495 Abington Avenue around 10:15 p.m. on 10/4/25, traveling southeast towards Mount Pleasant Avenue, then to Arbitrarium area until about 11 p.m. before the suspect device returns to 5500 block of Beaumont Terrace. So it shows right there that that telephone number, that Text Now account, Madeline Brown, was there until it was 10:15. Did she let Keon use her phone? I doubt it, because Keon already had his phone. So then that means Keon's number, that 305, and then this 267 was traveling together, southbound. At the same time, Kada was traveling southbound. Which explains why they have not named some of the accomplices, because most likely they doing the talking. And most likely saying, oh, he took my phone. That could be another thing they say. He took my phone and I didn't even know he had my phone. I didn't even know he was using my account. I didn't even know that Keon had access to my account. Bull. He gonna have, because it says, I'll show y'all in a minute about Text Me app. It only can be assigned, one person's account can only be assigned to one phone. So it's not like Keon was using her account for his phone and then she was using her account for her phone. That's not how that worked. That's not how that worked. And they clearly say that this number right here was texting Kada. Texting Kada. And Kada told this number, see me when you get here. Maybe she thought that she was going to be meeting a female, a chick. Maybe the chick was going to bring her a little good, or maybe they was going to ride around right quick before anybody realized Kada was missing at work, and they was going to ride around, smoke that good. But Keon was in that car too. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Because it says it right there that both numbers was together. Keon number and the Madeline's registered text now account. Mm-hmm. Was going through the same area Keon was going through the same area Kada was going through. Mm-hmm. And that's the number that Kada thought she was talking to when she said, see me, the last exchange at 10:09 p.m. read, CM when you hear. Then it says the text now account was registered to Madeline Brown. So she thought she was talking to a female. And she probably was talking to a female. But the female most likely didn't tell her Keon was going to be in that car. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then those two phone numbers are together until 11 p.m. before Keon, the suspect, device returns back at the 5500 block of Beaumont Terrace. And that's where Madeline Brown be at. And then the other chick that she lives with, Sanchez. Mm-hmm. And I know this one right here is a little bit blurry, but they did send SWAT. They sent SWAT and all that over there to the 5000 block to talk to these ladies. They had a search warrant and all that stuff. And that's when they found those construction bags and things like that, and a hammer and things like that. And you see here it says, because I asked, can a text now have different accounts? Because I was wondering, well, did he use her account on his phone? And it says, nah, it don't work like that. It don't work like that at all. He didn't use her account. No, she used her own damn account, and he had his own damn account. That's basically what it says here. Okay. So as y'all would see right here, it says, no, you cannot have 3 different numbers on a single Text Now account. Each Text Now account can only be tied to one phone number at a time. Yeah. So what is she going to say? Oh, he took my phone. Is that what she going to say? He took my phone. I didn't know he had my phone. Is that what she telling 50? Don't know. But what we do know is her number, her linked Text Me app, Text Now app, whatever, was going through the same neighborhoods Keon was going through along with Kada Brown. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it says, no, you cannot have multiple accounts. That's not how that works. However, there are alternate ways to get multiple numbers for a single device, such as creating separate accounts or using a different app. Like they could have used a different app and things like that, but that's not what the affidavit didn't say nothing about using different apps. Keon got his own Text Me or Text Now app, and Madeline got her own Text Now app on her phone. And both of those numbers was going through the same area at 10:15 p.m. That's the time Kada was inside of that car. Mm-hmm. So, which shows that I'm just going off what the affidavit said. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm just going off that. And they said 1 account per number. Y'all see that right there. Only 1 account per number. So, rules that out, that unless he had her phone. And this is where the police went to check that house, because Keon was last pinged there. And that other number, text now, was last pinged there. But he wasn't at home. Or he wasn't there with them. He was gone. It was just the two ladies there. And that's when they detained the two ladies and questioned the two ladies. Because she could say, oh, he had my phone that whole time. I knew, my phone was missing. I didn't even know he had my phone. He took my phone and had his phone too. Yeah, right. Okay. But it looks like they cooperating. And that's why we hadn't really heard nothing about the other accomplices. They know who the other accomplices are. They would nab them up real quick. But most likely somebody is cooperating like hell. Probably doing a hell of a lot of lies too. Yeah. Oh no, I ain't had my phone. Yeah, he stayed here and he took my phone that night too. He was texting her with my phone and she thought it was me. That's what happened. All that kind of mess. But the point is, we know now that it was two phones that was pinging. At the time, Kada disappeared. 3 phones, actually. Kada's, Keon's, and Madeline's text now. She clearly texted her, and Kada texted her back and say, see me, well, CM, when you get here. Call me when you get at the job. Kada was thinking she was talking to a female. When she got to that car, it was Keon. Now, was the female Madeline with Keon? Or did Keon take Madeline's phone? I find that hard to believe. I'm gonna check out some of the comments right quick. Salute to you all. I'm sorry I wasn't saying hello. I was all wrapped up in this. I just wanted y'all to I was just trying to explain this to y'all. Love, help out. Hello. Love you all. Susan, love you all. Hey girl, hey, how you doing? So they're possibly leaving out text exchange from the public. Exactly. You see what I see? Hey girl, exactly. Because you see how that jumped? That text message jumped? You are right on the ball. You see how that text message jumped? Yeah. Yeah, you see how that text message jumped? Yeah, because you see that Kada communications between the number, the Kada Scott, on 9/28 to 10:04 on 10/2. Okay, that was 2 days before she passed. The account message, that was 2 days before she passed. This message came in. Yo, Kada, this my new number. And Kada replied, who this? And the user replied back, identified herself as Keon. That was 2 days before she passed. Now, on 10/4, 2 days later, this is the day she was deleted. The night she was deleted. At 10:07 a.m., Kada Scott texts, kidnap me again. Wait a minute. Where's all the other stuff in between here? Kada Scott, a beauty pageant, very smart, had great grades in school. That girl had it on and popping. You ain't finna tell me she just woke up like she done had Tourette's or something. Hey, and just text somebody and say, kidnap me again. Come on now. Where the rest of the text at? If you're not going to show the rest of the text, don't make baby girl look like she asking to be kidnap me again. And then some people don't understand what that really means. So then you got some people out here trying to act like she was asking for what she got. No, dog, that's what we not going to do. Where's the rest of the text that made her say, in the morning time at 10:04, kidnap me again? To which the subject replied, better be up too. Why would that person say better be up too if she gonna be at work? So yes, it is some text messages missing. My opinion. I just don't feel like Kada just woke up that morning and just said that. And then it tells us the text me account that she was talking to was registered to Madeline Brown. She thought she was talking to a female. She didn't think she was talking to no Keon. Point blank, period. It says it right there. But anyway, that number, 265 and a 305, Madeline 26 whatever, her number, Keon number, and Kada number is all right there in the mix together at 10:15. Kada text her and said, CM when you get here, not Keon. Now, when that girl got there, Kada went out that door and did not realize probably that Keon was going to be there, because she didn't say CM when you get here. She didn't write that to Keon's text now number. She wrote that to Madeline's text now number. That tells us right there all we need to know. And it got the timestamp right there. That was at 10:15 when she was texting that number. Like I said, did Keon take Madeline's phone without Madeline's permission, and he had her phone and his phone? Or was Madeline with him? It's given Madeline was with him. I'm sorry. My opinion. Shouldn't have been never involved with this mess anyway. That's my opinion. Now, let me finish doing some shout outs. That's my opinion. Yeah, it stinks to high sky. I knew something wasn't right. And okay, let me go back. Susan, maybe. Susan said, actually, they can withhold any information from the public if they believe it might be essential to the case. Yeah, that is true. That they can withhold any information that might be crucial to the case. Well, if that's the case, they should have left out Kada saying, kidnap me again. Because it makes it look like this chick wanted someone to kill. You hear what the news say. I don't know if some of y'all watch some of the news or whatever, but the first thing some of the news, it's not just one. It's a lot of them say, we don't know if she meant if she was kidnapped before by him, or is that just a word that they use? That's what you don't want. That's hurting her case. It's not helping her case at all. And then you realize it's something missing here. It's some text look like they're missing here. My opinion. That's what I'm saying. It's all good. Yeah, I already know that they're supposed to leave out stuff that's going to be valuable to the case. But you also don't put nothing in there to make it look like the victim is asking to be victimized. Especially if you don't have all the details in there to explain why she said that. Because according to what I just showed everybody, Kada thought she was talking to a female, Madeline Brown. And something kept telling me and my team to keep looking at that. Keep looking at that. And we said, bam, there it go right there. I mean, It's so many people reading over it, just reading the affidavit, reading clean over it. That's a big part to skip. That Madeline Brown number is the one that was texting Kada at 10:15 or 10 after or 9 after 10 or 10 after 10. And Kada wrote back and say, CM when you get here. Mm-hmm. So, hey girl says, okay, love help out. Gee, this is deep, Miss Cafe. You got my hat tipped to you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hats off to y'all. Love help out said, nah, we ain't drowning her like that. She was forced in that car. Exactly. But see, that's what I'm getting ready to show y'all, because remember when it was a lot going on about, wonder if his father or something like that was part of some type of law enforcement and stuff like that. Well, we didn't find nothing on that, but guess who is? Used to be part of the DA, used to be part of the police department. His lawyer, Mr. Shaka. Yeah, we'll get on that in a minute. That's the one who got the background for all that. But I'm skipping a little bit, but let me just go on. So yeah, so that's it. Now for the Shantes, right? Then after we looks at that affidavit, just that's all the part we need. All the rest of that part in the affidavit, oh, well, good, fine. We didn't need to have to read all that. That paragraphs that I just showed y'all told us all we need to know. That's most likely the accomplice right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, most likely. So did Brown, was she in that car with Keon, or did Keon just steal her phone and had her phone riding around? I doubt it. I don't see nobody. If her phone had been missing, well, that should have been in the affidavit too, that he stole my phone. It was. Now, for the Sanchez, yes, because, see, Keon, yeah, I remember when I was talking about that 59-year-old king who's related to Keon, and they have that over $500,000 home over there in Delaware. Well, that 59-year-old king is very connected, is given related to Valsages, is VELASQUEZ. Very connected to that person, okay? And that person, it looks like cousins or something like that. But that person is related to Sanchez. Mm-hmm. So you got the older 59-year-old Keon and Keon family, who is very, very close, very well connected to a person named Velasquez or something like that. How you pronounce this? How you pronounce this name? Hold on, family. That name is Velasquez. Yeah. Velasquez. He's very connected or related to Velasquez, those kings, okay? Velasquez. And Velasquez is related also to Sanchez, which is the other chick that was in that house. Allegedly, that's what he got. Mm-hmm. It's all public records. Yes, it is. So is that Keon's cousin he was staying with? Or are they distant cousins? Or are they just been in the family friends for a long time, and like their parents knew each other, and then they know each other, and they grew up with each other, and maybe they call themselves play cousins and all that right there, but they're very close. Sanchez and Keon. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Is that your distant cousin? Yes. That my play cousin. But yeah, so that's because I was wondering, because when I seen the two females on the affidavit, I kept saying, what would make two females even risk themselves in a situation like this? And then it comes to find out that the Sanchez is more closer than Keon than we originally thought. Yeah. Allegedly, that's what he got. And then you have Hey Girl said Brown was not in the car seat from the rec center, only picked up one moving individual leaving. Yeah, I understand. I understand what you saying about she wasn't in that car. But baby, this affidavit says right here that that number, okay, when she said text me again, whatever, then the last exchange at 10:09 p.m. read, see me, CM, call me when you hear. That was from Madeline's phone, okay? That was at 10:09 p.m. Madeline Brown phone. That's what Kada sent to her. See me when you get here. Call me. Call me when you get here. And then I'll come outside. So rather Madeline was at a rec center, on the hill, or wherever she was, her phone was communicating with Kada before Kada disappeared with Keon. Keon had his own phone number, okay? Now, I don't know if some of y'all are coming in here late, but Keon got his own phone number. Keon number is 304. That's not the number that did all that, okay? It says it right here on the affidavit, okay? And I'm not going to go through that no more. But rather, old girl was on a hill, or rather, old girl was on the beach skinny dipping. The point is, her phone was communicating with Kada to get Kada up out of that doggone facility. That's the main thing. That's an accomplice. That's all we wanted to know. Who helped them? See, everybody was saying, yeah, well, it's we believe the two females helped them. We read affidavit. And we believe that what the affidavit said. Yeah. That's the point. Yeah, that's the point. My thing is, however they did it, they knew what was going on, and Kada was set up. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Either I take your phone and do dirt with it, or you with me doing dirt. It's either or. It's either or. And either or is not good. Because when 50 come to your house and they getting stuff and they looking for stuff and they got a search warrant and all that type of stuff like that for you and all that, and then the person who talks normally get them a good deal. Yes, cooperate. And like I said, come up with all kind of excuses. I didn't know he had my phone. Yeah, he do live here, and that's how he got access to my phone. And it could be all kind of excuse. I ain't talking about that. I don't give a damn about that. I'm talking about that number was tracking along with Keon, with baby girl up in that car. That number was communicating with Kada before she left up out of that facility that she works at. Point blank, period. I don't give excuses to nobody like that. That's Brown friend. That's Sanchez so-called cousin, play cousin, allegedly. That's their friend. So whatever hole they got stuck up in, that's them. We gives not one damn. Only thing we want to know is who did it with Keon. Who planned this with Keon. Who was hiding out evidence with Keon. And we got the answer right there in the affidavit. We'll let the court decide from there. Yeah, we'll let the courts decide from there. You know. And he was he was a big street time, he wasn't no big time. Now he's small time little street candy dealer, and so you just never know what the reason for this here thing to do Kada in like this. It could have been jealousy. It could have been you owe me. It could have been anything like that. But my thing is nothing you could tell me that would make me say, okay, yeah, that's a good point why he did that. What? I don't give a damn what she did. She didn't do nothing to him. He wasn't physically hurt. So he didn't have to physically hurt her. Oh, well, maybe she took his money. Maybe she smoked some dope and she didn't pay him all his money or maybe she played with his money. The thing about this here street game when you're dealing in that toxic candy, see, I'm from the Big Apple, New York, and the dirty, dirty South. It's some real ones out here that they know what they doing and they know the consequences of what they doing. And they know sometimes they're going to have to take a loss. And they have to hold that loss and then just don't mess with the person that caused them to take that loss. You ain't got to delete nobody or nothing like that. See, that's educated street people. Then you got the ignorant ones. Because see, when you in that type of game, you already know you're going to take a loss. Rather somebody run off with $100,000 of your stuff. Guess what? You in a game that you got to take that risk. But then you just going to be like, you know what? I got to take a loss. That's the type of game that is. But if you in that game and don't expect to take no loss, then, hey, you about bitch made, be made. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Even when you're doing things legit in a regular business, people take loss and profits. Loss and profits. But just because your store fall about $500,000 down in profit this year, you don't go out spraying customers. Come on now. I don't give a damn what she did. She didn't deserve that. No, she did not. And she didn't deserve to be set up like that. So let me give shout outs to Call 36. Shout out. Who else? Nancy Wilson. Shout out. Okay. So that's all I really have to say about that. But my thing too is, why are these so-called Gangster guys or whatever they want to be, street dealing, toxic street candy, any type of guy that's out here doing something illegal, why they always running to females for help, or females to get them out of help, or females to cover up or hide their evidence, or females to help them plan to delete somebody? Why y'all ain't got no homeboys? Keon ain't got no homeboys. He had to go over their house and stay. How come the homeboys wouldn't let him stay over their house? Because he bitch made. That's why. He bitch made. Yes. That's why. Because I always feel like this. If you a man dealing in the streets, you're supposed to be dealing with men. If you out there and you did something, why run to women for help? Why you ain't run to no homeboys for help? Some of the men in your family for help. Why you ain't pull men in this mess? Why women? That's what I want to know. And men, if you out there doing things, young men, y'all out there doing stuff like that, man, you ain't supposed to run to no women. You ain't supposed to. Women supposed to be off limit. Men not even supposed to want to see women get in trouble. They supposed to hold that L on their own, or get their other homeboys. But women and children and stuff like that, pulling them inside, stuff like that, that's supposed to be off limit. Another thing that lets me know that Keon is bitch made. Yeah, he bitch made. Yeah. It's sad. Because women are not supposed to be pulled in men's street mess. They not. But you got a whole lot of them running to either the baby mama house. Soon as they do something trifling, soon as 5-0 is looking for them, soon as something done got hot, the heat done got hot, they run in the mama house, they run the auntie house, they run the baby mama house, they run to the cousin house, they run to the girlfriend house, run to all the female house. Where y'all friends at? Where y'all homeboys at? Pulling the women in mess. A hot mess. Running to the sister house, running to all the female house when they deep in mess. That's when you know they can't hold their own. Ain't used to holding their own. Want to be out in the street dealing small time toxic candy, but don't know how to take the heat. Don't know how to take the heat at all. Go run into a woman. Boy, I tell you. Anyway, family. Young men, stop running to the women when you get knee deep in mess. Hold your own. Yeah, please do. Please be respectful in the comments as well. Because I see that YouTube wrote another thing down here about abiding community guidelines. I ain't trying to delete some people, but I do got a delete finger now. I got a good swift delete finger. Yep. But so that's all I wanted to say about that. Now, this chick here said, this is another chick that smells like skunk meat to me. I'm sorry. Smell just like skunk meat. And, but first of all, hold on. Let me play this because I want to know this too. Because Kada was, I'm trying to figure out who was she with in these woods, okay? Because Kada was in some woods chilling with somebody she trusts. Who was that? Who was that? They never did say about that. Who was that Kada was in the woods with? Right here. Who is this? Who is this gentleman? Because I know that they said something about he post something and they was in the woods and they was hugging. But you see, she's in the woods there. And it's real creepy that baby girl was having a great time in the woods and then mess around and delete it in the woods. You know? It's real weird. It's real weird that happened like that. See there? It reminds me of Left Eye. Left Eye from TLC. She was over there across the country having a great time, looking at the waterfall and all that stuff. Next thing you know, she was gone in the same area. And that's what she was playing Top Golf that night, having fun. And then, you know, it's just creepy. Look at her in the woods and then she waves at the woods like, and then the next thing you know, that's where she was found. Boy, that show is creepy to me. I'm sorry. That's creepy to me. It really is. It's creepy. But anyway, family, it's a chick that says Keon is her friend. And she ain't know nothing about it. She ain't think Keon was capable of do nothing like that. And she don't know nothing. And she don't want nobody to think she know nothing, okay? So people could just leave her alone because she don't know anything about what Keon did to Kada. Okay, so her name is Gabby. Now let's listen to Gabby because Gabby's story sounds like skunk meat too, okay? But she said she was in college, so I let her slide with that one. You know, she said she was in college and at the time that this happened, but something tells me that she might have been good friends with not only Keon, but Madeline, the brown chick, and Sanchez chick, who Keon was shacking up with over there. Okay? Something tells me that all of them is pretty good friends. She just happens to be off at college when this right here happened. But something tells me that she knew a little bit more than what she's saying. Seemed like they might have let her in on the deal, or after it happened, let her in on the deal. But she smells like a lot of skunk meat, okay? Just like a bucket of chitlins, okay? But let's check out what, I'm sorry. So let's check out what she said. Let me read this right here first. Love Help Out got bumpers on Gabby. Got bumper cars out. Got Love Help Out you something else. You got bumper cars on them. Black, what's up? How you doing? Michelle Collins, how you doing? Yes. But Love Help Out put the bumper cars on her. Black Black Hassanis, Black said, look at homie lip. You know what? I'm not finna play with you today, Black. I'm gonna have to call you Black. I'm not playing with y'all today. But check this out. Because Gabby smelled like skunk meat. I'm sorry. Everything she said, I side-eyed. It just what, you know, when people talk, sometimes they trying to give you an alibi, but then the alibi is covered with some lies that they don't realize. We see that it's some lies in there and they keep talking and the lie keep getting more twisted. That's what it was giving me with her. Okay, it was. So check this out. This is what she said.
And I'm going to be discussing some of the misinformations that are going around in the internet regarding me and the Kada Scott situation. So if you are unaware, Kada Scott is a girl that went...
Black, I'm not fooling with you. Black said you're not FBA. You don't think? Yeah. Well, you know, it's a lot of different ethnic groups that I noticed that the names, like the Sanchez, the what was that? What was that name? It's like Sanchez, and then the Velasquez, and it's just a lot of different names. And then you got his lawyer named Shaka. You know, so it's a lot of different ethnic groups inside of this story here. But let me see what Gabby is talking about, because Gabby definitely
Philadelphia on October 4th. So I did know Keon. He was my friend. I met him about 4 or 5 years ago, and he was also the local pharmacist. Now, me and my best friend, we were also mutual friends with Keon. He was our pharmacist. So one day Keon calls me, and keep in mind, I am at school. I am in Maryland,
and they keep talking about this boy here is a local pharmacist. Now they trying to make Keon bigger than what he really is. Okay, I'm sorry, it wasn't even like that. Just gonna say that he supplied a little street candy, and it wasn't no bigger than the alligators. Okay, if he was doing that, okay, and then if he was doing the other thing, it wasn't no more than a Kool-Aid packet. Okay. He was small time, okay? They trying to make it like he's sure enough doing it big. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. You know. But that just show you how he had a lot of them thinking he was on top game. We already done proved that most of the money is his family's.
He would usually just call me, you know, just to check up and talk. So he calls me and he asks me if I know Kada. And I'm like, yeah, like, I know Kada. And he's like, oh yeah, I noticed that she lives really close to you. I'm like, yeah, like, she lived right in the back of me. And I'm not thinking nothing of it, because he usually calls me and, you know, we just be chatting. He'll call me about, like, you know, the people that be around, because he is the pharmacist. I live in the neighborhood and he be in my neighborhood. So we hang up the phone, and that was that. We were only on the phone for 29 seconds. So you can see that this is the day that he called me, and this was before Kada went missing.
Now, y'all heard her say, you can see here, this is the day he called me. Listen to what she said, how long they was on the phone. Check it out.
And we were only on the phone for 29 seconds.
She said they was only on the phone for 29 seconds. Now, I'm going to tell you how alibi lie will bust you, because see, Cafe pay attention to details, okay? But I just hate that some of the people covered up the real evidence, but they didn't cover it up all the way. She said, this is when Keon called me, and we only talked for 29 seconds when he called me. Check it out, family. I don't know if y'all can see this good, but look what it says. Outgoing call, 29 seconds. She lied. He did not call her. She called him for 29 seconds. Because this is what she put up right quick to show us that, see, this is the text message. See, this is when he called me, and we only talked for 29 seconds. Girl, he didn't call you. You called him. So why did you call him? Did you call him to see if the job was done, or did they do what they said they were planning on doing? You know what? They said that she missing. Is it y'all? Is it y'all? Because, see, you told us he called you. On this right here, you showed us. It's outgoing call. That means you called him, girl. But see, the thing is, these people, when they was showing her video, they put this piece of thing right in front of it. And maybe she did it. And she was probably planning on putting that little piece of sheet of paper across all of it. But she wanted to show us that she only talked to him for 29 seconds. See, y'all? I only talked to him for 29 seconds, but her ass forgot to cover up the outgoing. Why she lying? Why she lying?
Also, I know that people that be around, because he is...
Now check it out. She gonna tell us that lie.
In my neighborhood. So we hang up the phone, and that was was that. We were only on the phone for 29 seconds. So you can see that this is the day that he called me, and this was before Kada went missing, and we were only on the phone for 29 seconds. Also, I know that his name says Elliot in my phone. That's just what we call him. So a couple of days after that, my best friend calls me, and we're just talking about like.
Y'all heard her say, "Yeah, I see it got Elliot on my phone," and that's what we call him. We call him Elliot, and he called me. We don't talk for 29 seconds. Somebody need to take her in the interrogation room. I'm sorry. I'm so tired of this girl already.
And I mentioned to her how Keon brought up Kada to me. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm like, oh yeah, like he was probably trying to flirt with her. He's probably trying to get at her. Mind you, me and my best friend, we know Kada because we grew up with her little sister. Now, we didn't know Kada personally because, again, we grew up with her little sister. We were around 12, 11 years old. Kada, she was much older than us, so we didn't really talk to her. So my best friend was like, oh yeah, like he probably thought she was cute, and that was that.
That's another lie. This girl here done said she don't know Kada. Kada was much older than her. They only know Kada's little sister. Kada was much older than us. How is Kada much older than y'all when she was 23, Keon 21? That ain't much older. You hanging with Keon, he 21. You ain't say that he much older. You see what I'm saying? She's trying to distance herself from even knowing Kada. But see, she done already lied in a couple of sentences prior by talking about he called her and actually she called him for 29 seconds, okay? And that's giving voicemail. He about sent her ass to voicemail, 29 seconds. Yeah. It don't give it don't give that he really wanted to talk to her for real. Because see, she called him. See, if he called her, that phone call would have lasted longer. She was trying to call him to get the scoop. But the thing is, that's my opinion, okay? But the thing is, she keep hollering, Kada was much older than them, but they all around the same age. Another lie. Go ahead, girl.
So right here is the day that I called my best friend and told her that, Keon was trying to get at Kada. This is before she went missing. So a couple days, maybe a week after that, it is reported on October 4th that Kada is missing. So keep in mind, I am in Maryland, so I'm not really into all the Philadelphia news that be going on. So I'm not knowing that Kada is missing.
Girl, stop. Girl, stop. You been calling Keon. How you don't know Kada missing? That's why you called him. Yeah. And she trying to make it like Maryland and Philly is so far away. What is it, about 2.5 hours, baby? You can get there. You can get to Philly, do whatever you got to do and go on back to the dorm room up there in Maryland. That shit ain't far. It ain't far at all. About 2.5 hours drive, if that.
So my best friend sends me a text and says that Kada is missing. So this is the day that my best friend tells me that Kada is missing on October 9th. So I'm in my friend's dorm and I call Keon and it's a lot of music and a lot going on in the background. So I go somewhere that's quiet and I tell him, Keon, Kada is missing. Like that girl, she's missing. So he was like, what? And then after that, the phone.
Now Kada been Kada the whole time. The whole time, family. Kada been Kada. She been saying, yeah, we really didn't know Kada. We knew her little sister. And then, he called me, lie. He called me, and we only talked for 29 seconds, yeah. But Kada lived in the area. Then all of a sudden, Kada turns to be that girl. That girl. What? When she turned that girl just that quick? When did Kada turn that girl? You wasn't calling her that girl earlier. You said Keon called you. He was trying to get with Kada and all this kind of stuff. Then all of a sudden when she missing that girl. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. This is what I'm talking about. Backyard Barbies. Listen to her call Kada that girl.
This is before she went missing. So a couple days, maybe a week after that, it is reported on October 4th that Kada is missing. So keep in mind, I am in Maryland, so I'm not really into all the Philadelphia news that be going on. So I'm not knowing that Kada is missing until my best friend sends me a text and says that Kada is missing. So this is the day that my best friend tells me that Kada is missing on October 9th. So I'm in my friend's dorm and I call Keon and there's a lot of music and a lot going on in the background. So I go somewhere that's quiet and I tell him, Keon, Kada is missing. Like, that girl, she's missing.
That girl.
So he was like, what? And then after that, the phone just hung up. So here you can see that I called Keon and we were on the phone for 2 minutes. So you have to keep in mind, this was my friend, okay? I did not think that he could be capable of anything like this. In my head, I'm just thinking, there's no way in the world he could have did something like this. There's no way in the world.
Okay, well, if there's no way in the world that Keon could do anything like this, how come you called Keon like 5, 6 times? Can you please tell us that? If you didn't think he was capable of doing anything like that, why was he the first one you called? You didn't even say you called your mama. You ain't say you called another home girl. You ain't say, you know, when my friend called me and she told me that that girl was missing, I went straight to the dorm and I was telling my friends, I know her. Like, I was friends with her little sister and they saying she missing and stuff. Why you ain't do none of that? You just instantly call Keon. We'll wait while you finish spitting out these lies.
So then a couple of days after that, my mom sends me a screenshot of Keon turning himself in for the kidnapping of Kada. So this is my mom sending me the article, and she was distraught to say the least. And I know she said that he was a random person, but she says this about all my friends. So me and my best friend, we get on the phone and we're talking about the situation. We're just saying how this is just crazy. This is the call of me and her talking about it. Now, this is all happening around the time that I'm taking my midterms. So I'm really just trying to keep my head on the books. And I wasn't really trying to let this stress me out. So I kind of just let it go. You know, he turned himself in. It's not really much to say or do anymore. So a couple of days after that, me and my best friend get on the phone and we're basically just, you know, talking about the Kada situation. And she says that she thinks that I should call the cops. So she was basically saying that she thinks that I should call the cops and tell them that Keon was, you know, asking about Kada. Now, at the time in my head, I'm thinking that there was no reason to call the cops. He already turned himself in, and I felt like it would be kind of a waste of time to tell them that the guy that they already have in custody, you know, called me and was asking about the girl.
About the girl. He called me and asked me about the girl. See how she distances herself sometimes, and then she try to catch herself and tries to say Kada. See, when you say somebody's name, when you are kind of guilty, that person name kind of, and you really don't like that person name kind of tastes like shit in your mouth, okay? So when you can and you hoping don't nobody really catch it, you start calling that person as that girl or that boy. And you said, I didn't think I would have to call the cops and tell them that he was asking about her. Why not, ma'am? You thought to call Keon, but you didn't think to call the police. But see, she said because she goes by the no snitch rules, okay? So that's why she did not talk to the popos, which further tells us that she most likely knew more than what she's saying, because she instantly says she's not into snitching. Why would that be snitching if you just say, yeah, you know, he was asking about her now? All of a sudden, he started asking about her. Now, you weren't going to say that because you know that was valuable information. That's valuable information. If he started asking you about this girl real hard, you say this girl. If he was asking you about her so hard, then she comes up missing, you call him, though, to ask him, did he do it? That's what it's giving. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. Let me see what y'all saying right quick before we let this girl finish lying. I'm so tired of this girl lies. I'll be glad when she finished. Carl Henry said, ain't that strange? Yeah, it is strange. Love help out. Yeah, it is strange. Dusselli, unbelievable. Yeah, it is unbelievable. It really is. Oh, Philly TV Talk said 3 hours tops. Yeah, 3 hours tops. So she could have got there early, honey. She could have got there early for them 3 hours and then came on back. You know what I'm saying? Went back to the school. We don't know. We need to know where she was. Yeah, we need to know what her phone was pinging at. Because it's quite strange. She telling a whole bunch of lies around here, and we ain't feeling it. We really ain't feeling it. I'll be glad when she get through talking for real.
And me personally, I'm not a cop caller. Like I don't call the cops. That's just the way that I grew up. Yeah, that's what I was around. They will always tell me, you don't call the cops. So
now I'm gonna tell y'all why this backyard Barbie says she don't call her cops, so she want to call Kada a girl. She has a history being locked up as well. Okay, Gabby allegedly have charges on top of her head right now from a previous case that's unrelated to Kada, but she got charges on her head right now for possession of an instrument with an intent to commit a crime and making threats. So it seems like to me, her and her homeboy is about in the same damn boat. Okay, yes, they in the same boat. Keon just fell off the boat. Okay, but she in a sinking boat. That's what it's giving because her lies ain't adding up at all. So but yeah, so Gabby is already got charges allegedly on top of her head. She still ain't went to court for that. I think her court day is sometime in November.
I just felt like, the information that I had and the fact that, I'm just not really a cop caller, it wouldn't make sense for me to call the cops.
That's why she ain't called the cops.
So then my best friend tells me, well, if you won't call the cops and tell them, then I will. And then she basically tells me that she doesn't want to be friends with me anymore because I won't call the cops. And I told her, that's completely fine. I just don't want any involvement. So then we hung up the phone, and then I believe she called me again with the police on the other line. So you can see, I told her, I'm sorry, I'm not talking to the cops. And yeah, now I can't see how this could be cruel, and I do take accountability for that. So then a couple of days later after that, I get sent a link on Instagram, and the link was basically my best friend going live, just talking about the situation, saying how I was weird for not going to the cops, and people.
She is weird. And family, I'm sorry, the girl, I can't want to hear no more of her. She is weird. Your friend is right, okay? Which she ain't your friend no more because her friend said that she wouldn't be cooperative, and then just tell the police that Keon was calling her, and she's like, nah, I ain't calling the police because I ain't no snitch. No, you ain't calling the police because allegedly you got charges already on top of your head anyway. And so you didn't want to say nothing about it because you didn't feel like being in contact with the police just in case they start questioning your ass. Because if you got in front of them and told them what you told the public over there on your TikTok, whatever you was on, if you got in there and told them that, they were going to hold your ass too, because all this stuff that you just told us, we done caught you in about 4-5 lies, okay? Then you try to distance yourself from Kada and say that girl. So that says something within itself. Mm-hmm. So we cares nothing about you. I hope they go to pinging on your phone too. It needs it. It needs it. She's a backyard Barbie. But anyway, Keon lawyer done finally broke his silence. Mr. Shocker. Mr. Shocker done finally broke his silence, family. Let me see. Yeah, he done finally broke his silence. Oh, Love Help Out said, yeah, if she's out on bond, that's why she didn't want to talk to the popo. But girl, you going down too. Yeah, that's exactly why she didn't want to talk to the popos. Yeah, she didn't want to talk to him because, and then again, she didn't want nobody to try to bring her up. And then they started pinging her phone, all that stuff. That's how come she got so hot at her friend, because her friend was trying to make her talk to the popos and stuff. And she like, oh, I'm trying to stay away from them or whatever. But we need to know, was you really in Maryland? Because you keep focusing on how you was having midterms and you was so into midterms and you really didn't have time to hear the news and you really didn't have time to do this, but somehow you found time to contact Keon, who didn't have nothing to do with midterms. Anyway, Mr. Shocker done broke his silence. Okay, this is Keon's lawyer. And yes, and he finally broke his silence, and he is the same lawyer that Keon had when he did that to the first victim and the case was dropped, and when he was all up in her window looking like Michael Myers and all that, and then that case was dropped. This lawyer here was on that case as well when that got dropped. So when this happened with Kada, he's back on defending Keon. Okay. And the public really not feeling it. They really don't like the fact that he is defending Keon. Rightfully so. I understand where they're coming from. And I tell y'all why I understand that in a minute. But he said God told him to protect Keon. That's what he said. Okay. Now, if y'all will see, Keon lawyer, he about big time, family. He about big time now. Okay. He about big time. Anyway, Shocker Johnson, he had got a little honor award, and he got a Cecil B. Moore award, okay, in 2023. So, they consider him, that he do pretty good for himself. But y'all will see right here that former assistant district attorney. What? Let that sink in. So you remember when everybody was saying that Keon's dad was a former DA or police or whatever like that? That could be. Like I told you, I couldn't find nothing on that. But now we see where that really at. That's his attorney. His attorney is a former assistant DA. He worked for the DA department. Yeah, he was. He was also a police officer as well. Okay. As y'all will see here, the law office of Shocker in Philadelphia, based law firm specialized in criminal and civil practices area, experienced attorney. Okay. And he does cases like what Keon is going through, criminal law, including violent crime, DUI, that street candy, domestic violence, that was in the last case Keon had, and all that right there. Okay. Now, as y'all will see right here, he also is, what is he, family? Mr. Johnson, former police officer, SWAT team member, narcotics detective, and member of the district attorney's office. That's it. Yeah. So that's who represented Keon, Mr. Shocker. So he was a former district attorney, which means he knows just about most likely the district attorneys that's on Kada's case. Okay. So that's why I say most likely that the crowd, the public and the community is really not feeling that because they feel like, okay, he a district attorney. He used to former district attorney, which he kind of knows, he done had to communicate with judges and things like that and the other DAs and things like that. He's a former, okay? Then he was in the police department. Then he was on the SWAT team. He was on all that, okay? And so the community really ain't feeling that. And so he said God told him to take Keon's case. Okay. But my thing is, it also shows us that, and it should show the family that they should watch this case very, very well. Watch it very, very closely. Not saying that the DAs that's representing Kada case is not going to do their 100%. But you also have Keon's defense that knows exactly how DA gonna try and how DA gonna operate. You see what I'm saying? And so you have to make sure that Kada case don't accidentally start being twisted. Like in the case of kidnap me again. Kidnap me again. What? So you have to make sure that this baby case don't start getting twisted. You just have to make sure everybody stay honest. You got to keep everybody honest. You have to watch everybody. So that's all I'm saying. You just have to make sure baby girl case don't start getting twisted around this joint. Okay? Because at this point, once you know that, hey, his lawyer is a former DA in the department, on SWAT team member, narcotic detective, and remind you that Keon was a small-time little toxic street candy hustler. Okay? So he got a good one. But the thing is, he got one that used to be a DA. Yeah. So you just have to watch it very closely. And, like I said, yeah, the family going to have to watch this case very, very closely because it could be a drop of a hat. All of a sudden, Kada case will start looking real shady and shaky. Looking real shaky because I felt that statement, kidnap me again, when they told us Kada went against her will. So how do she go from going against her will to, kidnap me again? What? See, stuff like that you got to pay attention to. Because he was first said that Kada went against her will. Then all of a sudden, it's kidnap me again. And then you got a lot of little news people that's saying, we don't know if that meant she had been kidnapped before, or is that just something that they say now? So guess what old DA, former DA, gonna use? He gonna use that. But my thing is, we was told she went against her will. But now we see that Kada thought she was talking to a female the whole time. And she probably was. Was that female in that car? I'm going to keep asking that question. Was that female in that car? Or did Keon happen to steal that girl's phone and had that girl's phone? Yeah, right. So, anyway, that's Keon lawyer. Yeah. So he got all that going on, family. He got all that. And on top of that, family, the news. See, y'all have to, family, pay attention, okay? Let's talk turkey here, family. Remember when all the news started saying, we don't know if that mean kidnap her again? Has she been kidnapped before? Or has she asked to be kidnapped before? Or is that just a term that they be using? Well, guess what, family? Keon lawyer does work sometimes for the news. Yeah, y'all don't believe me? Here you go right here. Check it out. This is him on the news. This is him on the news. And they use him sometimes to give commentary about different cases that's going on in the news, such as Diddy case. Okay, so he's a special guest sometimes on the news, family. Yeah, he is. So check this out.
In the process.
Okay, so check this out. So this is him on the news.
Taylor was really trying to make an impassioned plea for more time. And number two was that the judge said that he cannot use an alternate perpetrator defense. Right?
He talked about another case, family. I just want y'all to hear how he talks.
What does that mean, alternate perpetrator? That means you're not saying it was me, it was these other people. And he'd outlined
Then we gonna start talking about the Diddy case. Check it out.
The defense had outlined 4 folks that they said were responsible, not likely to be responsible, but were responsible for this particular heinous crime. But the judge looked at the evidence.
Now, right here, he's talking about that case with that man went in there. I don't forgot what state that was, family, but where that dude went in there and he deleted like 4 college students inside of a house. I don't forgot what that case is. But that's the case he's giving commentary on. Okay, then he's gonna give commentary on Diddy case.
I said, no, you're grasping at straws. I'm not gonna let you do that. And Idaho law is very, very succinct on that one point. You just can't throw things at the wall. Not only do you have to name the people, but then you as a defendant have to show the nexus between those people and the crime. And so
okay, I just want y'all to get a feel.
Just want to be alive so much.
Hold on. I just want y'all to get a feel of what type of lawyer Keon got. Okay? Just want you to get a feel of what type of lawyer he got. And his lawyer, he pretty good now. That boy good. Hold on.
You'll spend the rest of your life in jail. You know, there are different schools of thought on that, right? There's alive, and then there's living, right? Yeah. And if you're alive but in jail, some people would rather, like you indicated, roll the dice, and maybe you'll get a juror 25 from the Diddy trial, right? Someone who will sort of thwart the apple cart. So it's called.
Okay, so now you're finna talk about Diddy.
When jurors go in the back and start deliberating, first thing they do is pick a 4-person. That 4-person is the liaison between the jury and the court. They don't have any extra voting power, but they are the person who writes these notes, these messages to the court, sort of being the conduit between the jurors and the court. Already, there have been some notes that have come out from the 4-person. And the first one, I think, is the most alarming, right? Because the first one indicated that they were not all playing in the sandbox together the way in which the jurors are. And I believe it seems to indicate that person is refusing to do exactly what we ask jurors to do, which is participate in the process. So you have to engage. You can have your own convictions, and you can sort of be, in your own head, listen, I know what I'm going to do, but you have to participate with the others. So what option the jurors have is what they just did. You let the court know. If the court gets the sense that there is any juror that is not participating in the process, you have offended the entire process of a jury trial. That's why we have alternates. That's why we have alternates. You can remove that person and put someone else in.
Shout out TS, moderator in the house. Moderator in the house. We love you, TS. So check this out, right? Doc XX, salute. Okay, so check this out, family. I just wanted y'all to hear what type of lawyer Keon has, because sometimes you get to hear what, he doing. But he does go to news stations and does commentary on different trials, okay? So the news will have him to come on as a guest, and they use his expertise to explain what do you think is going to happen with this here case. Or with this here case. And he was one of the commentary lawyers that came on about Diddy. And he was giving his expertise about how he thought Diddy case was going to turn out when they was having problems with the juror and all that kind of stuff, okay? So you'll see that his lawyer, Keon lawyer, is very, very known throughout this area. Even news people use him. So that's what I mean about now you have to watch Kada's case very, very closely and see how her case is being worded in the news. So it's given, family, that this case is basically DA versus DA. Point blank, period. Is basically DA versus DA. Wow. The DA, the present DA that's representing Kada, and the former DA who's representing Keon. Former police versus current police. Former SWAT versus present SWAT. Wow. So like I said, a lot of people not feeling the fact that Shaka took this case, but he took it and he said he's not letting it go. Okay. So basically it's DA versus DA. That's what it is right now. You got the former DA in the middle versus these two DAs that's handling Kada's case. What y'all think, family? Wow. Unbelievable. Yes, unbelievable. But anyway, family, and that's why I said, in my opinion, because we was told from jump, Kada went against her will. Now all of a sudden we're hearing little bits and pieces that's kidnap me and all that stuff right there. Something just stinks to high sky already. It stinks to high sky. But he finally broke his silence. And then they said Kada was being harassed. Remember that, family? Remember they said Kada was being harassed and all that. We ain't seen no text messages that show that Kada was being harassed. Now, we did see in that affidavit that I showed y'all that Keon, from his number, called her 12 times. But he called her 12 times like in a short span period. But the word we was getting at first is that she was being harassed previously. We have not seen anything yet on that. So is that being held because that is some evidence that they want to seal and hold on to? We don't know. But we noticed that everything that somewhat looked like is going into Kada's favor has kind of went to a pause. So you got to keep an eye on that. That's all I'm saying. Wow, family. Wow. Now I done took up too much time on that, but I had to break that down to y'all and show y'all. So right now, Kada and Keon case is basically DA versus DA. Former DA versus present DA. Yeah, and you have to watch that very, very closely because sometimes, not saying all the time, but DAs have communication and a friendship together and things like that. It makes me wonder, is that why Keon's case was dropped so easily when he did that to his first victim or his second victim? Remember when she didn't show up to court, he got off. Even if she didn't show up to court, they still should have pushed on with that. Because looking at that video within itself is disturbing, of him jumping that lady fence and running up there and trying to get in that door, and she had kids inside of that house, and they running trying to lock all the windows and making sure all the doors are locked and all that. Well, a couple of hours later when she went outside, he still nabbed her. Okay? But he got off. My opinion, is this why? I'm just asking the question. It stinks to high sky, because sometimes former DAs and current DAs can have a little bit, somewhat of a friendship. Not all of them, when some of them retire or leave and go on to another branch or something like that, they have friendships. Some of them, not all of them, but it's just a question. Yeah. Y'all please hit that like button, please. Yeah. TS said, yeah, that can go sideways. Yeah, it really can. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how I would take that if it was in my family. You know what I'm saying? Man, I don't know if I would ask for a whole change of venue or what I would ask for, I don't know. I'm not in that situation, but I tell you what, I would be on it like white on rice, like stank on doo-doo. I would be watching every move and every talk and every news statement, all that, because obviously the man goes and does expertise about cases to news stations, so he know them too. So I'm just asking a question, The cell, a quote I heard was, when someone says they are being harassed, believe them. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. The only thing I'm saying is, I didn't see in the affidavit where it showed that, Kada was being harassed previously. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. And then obviously we saw that it's a couple of texts it looked like was left out, and that could be because they need it for evidence. You know what I'm saying? Don't know. But, sometimes when you leave some things out or whatever, it's best to leave a little bit more out so it don't make the victim look like they asking to be kidnapped, So I was just wondering, is that done strategically, or is that done to stink up the joint? That's all I'm asking. It's just a question. Anyway, next, I'm going to have to go on to this right here right quick, because I think I'm taking a little bit too long and I ain't trying to hold y'all all night. But check this out, though. Marvin, I really wasn't going to talk about this story, but the only reason why I want to say something about this story, family, because I want y'all to see the kid in this story, okay? And it proves my point that I always say, us grown-ups have to watch what we do around children, because sometimes that can affect a child for long years to come. We don't realize it can, but sometimes it can. And I just want y'all to check it out, which everybody is talking about him asking about the money and got on the lady about the $1,200. But what I do, remember I told y'all, sometimes, a lot of times, I watch TV when I'm watching stuff like that with the sound off. I just want to see body language, motion. I just want to see all that and see what's going on. Then I'll use the sound. When I did that, I saw something that kind of disturbed me. It really didn't have nothing to do with that money. It had something to do with the kid. Okay? And I want y'all to check out what I'm talking about. Because what Marvin did was he asked his congregation, he said, hey, I need everybody to stand in line. Who's going to donate $1,000 just to donate, and then another $1,000 for their building fund, basically. Okay, so that's $2,000 that the people in line supposed to have. Well, this lady here got up there and she didn't have no $2,000. She only had $1,000 and then like 200 and something, which gave her about 1,200. Okay, so she was short. So he told her that that's only $1,200. She said, I know, I'm gonna work on them other 8. He said, that ain't what I told you to do. Well, what he was meaning was he didn't tell her to get in that line. He was gonna call the people who have less later. But at that time, she was in the wrong line. But my point is, you still don't embarrass nobody. Just take the damn money and move on, huh? Don't go worrying about that she's short. You better be glad you got that. Me, I snatched my check clean up out his hand. Hey, look here. That ain't what I asked you to do. Okay, thank you. But I'm going to ask for my check back. Snatch. Bye. I'll see y'all later. Come on, baby. And me and my son gonna be gone, okay? But this is what I wanted to say. I want to show y'all it's not about the money. I want to show y'all what sparked my attention. That was the child in this case. I want y'all to watch that child's body language. Okay? Watch that child's body language when he did what he did. Check it out. Okay? I want y'all to check out the body language of the child, which a lot of people kind of missed. Check this out, family. Check this out, okay? Now.
Giving faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfected church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus.
Now, I want y'all to check out how this little boy, I don't know if that's her grandson, her son. I don't know. I don't care. I'm talking about how we can do things that'll mess up a child for some years to come. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to when he goes up there. I'm going to say it's his mama, okay? But he goes up here with this lady. This lady gives the check to the pastor. Watch how the little boy is swinging back and forth like, yeah, mama, we did this. Because he about helped his mama raise some of this old money, okay, for this old church, okay? So he probably done been in the car with his mama. She done went to everybody's house in town trying to collect money to get up to $2,000, but she only wind up with $1,200 and something, okay? Now, look how the boy is swinging back and forth. Oh, he's so proud. He's thinking, oh, pastor gonna be so amazed that my mama and I was with my mama raising this money. Oh, this is the Lord's gonna love us down. Now, watch when this man get on her. The boy gonna stop swinging back and forth. Check it out. Okay? Check it out.
And receiving Roberta Hoy, giving faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfected church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235.
Look how he's swinging, family. He happy.
To come to all that participate.
Now that's only $1,200.
See how he stopped?
Y'all not listening.
He stopped like, huh?
If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Okay. Check it out again, because the little boy hands the preacher the check. Check out how the little boy hands the preacher the check. There you go. He handed the preacher the check.
With the vision of perfected church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus
look how he's swinging. Yeah, mama.
And receiving the blessings to come to all that participate.
Yeah.
Now that's only $1,200.
What? See how he stopped?
Now listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you have 1,000 plus 1,000. Okay.
Now we're gonna need Marvin to listen to what we're saying. Okay. Because first of all, that right there can mess a child up. Now, this child most likely have been all over the place with his mama trying to collect this old 1,200 something bucks, okay? Ain't no telling how much they grind to get that little money. Every time the phone rang, mama telephone, it's Sister Cornelia. It's Sister Cornelia, mama. They want to donate. And every time the doorbell rang, get that door, boy. He running to the door. Here go a check for your mama. Okay, thank you. He running in there getting the check to his mama. They done did all this. They done got up. They was $800 short, but she gave him $1,200. Little boy was happy. He handed the preacher the check, okay? Because he's just that excited. And you know, mama said, you hand him the check, baby. Yes, ma'am. And he probably said, mama, can I give him the check? Because we work hard for this. Yeah, baby, you can hand him the check. And he handed him the check and he just was swinging. And then, you know, his mama doing the speech. I sold my seed. I sold my seed of $1,000. Then I sold my seed for $200. Then I sold my seed. And then when the preacher said, that ain't what I asked you to do, the little boy just stopped swinging. The little boy just stopped swinging and looked up at the preacher like, what? I know you didn't tell my mama this, and we done sat up there and I done missed a couple of meals and shit, and you talking about it ain't enough and you gonna embarrass my mama? Yes. And then on top of that, listen at what they say when they give the money, because I want somebody to answer this question to me. See, it's not, I don't like the fact what he did to this lady, but my thing is you could see the instant stop in this little boy, which means he gonna remember this for a long time to come. Now he gonna have to go to church right now because his mama gonna make him go. But when he get old enough, he might stop. He might not. But the thing is, that left a bad taste in his mouth. And I can hear him now, about 20 years from now, saying, man, I remember when me and my mama went to church, boy, we worked hard to get that pastor that money. And then when my mama gave him that money, he gonna talk about, this ain't what I asked you to do. And then, man, if I was old enough then, I'd have tore that church up. I can hear that little boy saying that now, 20 years from now. You could look at the look on his face. And then afterwards, I don't have the whole thing, but if y'all want to go check out the clip after this, y'all check it out, because when she walked off, the little boy was still standing there. She had to hit him on the shoulder and say, come on, baby. That boy was still looking at that preacher like, boy, if I was a little bit older, it'll be on up in him. I'm telling you. Go back and look at the clip. Yeah. See, sometimes we have to watch as grown people, regardless if you're a preacher or not a preacher, what we say around our kids. But this is one thing I want to know is what she said here. All of them said the same thing. Now, check out what they say, because I want somebody to answer me a question. I'm looking in the chat to see, can y'all tell?
Roberta McCoy,
listen to her statement.
Stand in unity with the vision of perfected church of sowing this seed of $1,000.
Look how you swinging.
Plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yeah.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying.
Now, I want y'all to listen to she said, and all that participates. Listen.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Y'all not listening to what I'm
She
saying.
gonna say, may God bless who all participates. Listen.
And receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Now, that's their statement. And they're supposed to say, we sowing this and we sowing that, and may God bless all that participated. What? So that means if I ain't got $1,000 and another $1,000, $2,000 total, then y'all don't want God to bless me because I didn't participate? Say if I ain't got no money today, I don't have nothing to give today. Every person that got up there say, may God bless those who participated. Can somebody help me with that one? Can somebody help me with that? Does that mean if you don't participate, we ain't talking to you. We ain't talking about God bless y'all. We just talking about the ones who participate. Make you feel bad. Boy, let me see what y'all saying in this chat. That's 748 got laughing emojis. Yeah. TS said I told him to get back. get your check back. Yeah. I said I would too. Teresa, shout out. Thank you for joining us today. Oh yeah. I would have said now, because see, I'm telling you, I could swallow a lot of smartness from some people, you know what I'm saying? I look at them like you just don't know. Okay. But in a case like that, when I know you are streaming, and it's not only the people in the church, it's people that you got on your stream, and thousands of people probably watching that too. And you done embarrassed me about my money. I got to take my money back. I'm sorry. I can't leave that like that. I cannot leave that like that. I'm sorry, family. I'm sorry. And then I will tell God, this follow me and give me directions on what I need to do with this money. Because I'm not trying to take it back really to keep it for me, but what I will do is take half of it right down here to the shelter for women, shelter for men, all that, and to the Salvation Army, something like that. I give half that way, and I can guarantee you those folks ain't gonna say that ain't what I asked you to do. And my thing is, they trying to collect $23 million for a building that's been sitting for a whole decade that the city done gave them a ticket on. Y'all don't know? I'm trying to tell you. Yes, let me show y'all. They've been working on this building since a decade ago. And that building ain't been fixed yet. And the building sat so long until the city said, hey, we're going to have to give y'all a ticket on this because this building here is an eyesore. So it's an eyesore, and y'all ain't going to be able to stay here. Y'all going to have to do something. Y'all going to have to get that building together, or y'all sell the building or demolish the building. We don't know what y'all going to do, but y'all need to do something. So that's that lady. But y'all will see right here. It says that 168,000 square feet structure was abandoned until 2023 when the city of Detroit sued the church, stating the incomplete building was an eyesore. Church officials proposed a new plan for the cathedral, and construction resumed in August 2024 with plans to open the building in June 2026. So see, that building had been sitting there for decades, family. He been talking about they've been taking them folk money, talking about they're going to put it into this building. That building been sitting there. It's done church members who have done left that congregation, new done came in the congregation, old done left back out, new done came back in, and they've been doing this damn near about 10-something years, and that building still was sitting there looking rotten until the city had to get him a ticket and say, hey, look here, this right here is the eyesore. What y'all gonna do? Is y'all gonna use it or tear this joker down? So he said they need 23 mil to get that building going. So that is the money that they are collecting up right now. You have one donation for just donating for the building, and then you got your regular donation that you sow your seed. And he won 1,000 for each one. What? See, it couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. I'd be like, look here, this building been sitting here. Why we just can't get a regular nice size building and then make that into a nice church? Why we got to have a 168,000 square feet building that's about to collapse, and the city done fined us for it, and they giving us a certain time limit to get this thing together. So since they done gave your ass a time limit to get this building together, then you gonna jump on me because I ain't got $2,000 to give you. Oh no, we're gonna have to change these rules, Pastor. We're gonna have to change these rules. Come on now. Shit, my house need an add-on too, buddy. Yes, I need a new refrigerator. I need all that while you up here talking about $2,000. And my son ain't feeling you too well either. Because you see, he done stopped twirling and twirling back and forth. He ain't happy either. And I sure hope you ain't in no wheelchair when this boy get 26. Because that wheelchair, let me shut up. You know what? Next. Next. That baby was so happy at first, family. Then let me tell you, Tyler Perry felt bad for the preacher, and Tyler Perry gave yesterday, Sunday, he gave the Marvin Winans $100,000 for his going towards his abandoned building. Yes, which shows Tyler Perry did not say anything about how that woman was embarrassed. He didn't say anything about that little boy being in the presence of his mama being embarrassed. It's almost as if he complimented the preacher for what he did. Boy, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. It was Tyler Perry did it. But anyway, and the lady said, "Oh, my pastor didn't mean to embarrass me, y'all. Don't be on my pastor. My pastor didn't mean it. He apologized to me. I'm going to keep on sowing my seed. I'm going to keep on." Okay, sister, keep on. That's your little money. That's your little money. Now, let's talk about I just wasn't feeling it. And the little boy wasn't either. And that was my purpose of talking about this story, was the little boy. Okay. Now, Snap said they're not giving away no food stamps. November the 1st, they said they're gonna have to put a pause on it, okay? Because of the pause on the government. The government is in a standstill right now. And they said they're not gonna be able to do it, family. So it's gonna be a lot of families that's gonna have to go through they're gonna, and let me say this too, family, because see, let me say this too right quick before I get on to them talking about these food stamps. But Jesus Jesus had a pony, okay? He had a pony. He didn't have to put no gas in it. He didn't have to tune it up. He didn't have to do none of that. Why is some of these preachers running around with Rolls Royce and all that just to deliver a message? I'm sorry. Y'all get mad at me if you want to. I read the book, okay? He had a pony. He didn't have all that maintenance. Walked around there in some sandals or just barefooted and all that. Didn't even need no $23 million building to say what he wanted to say and to spread the word. Didn't need none of that. See, what is given is a lot of these preachers and bishops, not all, a lot of these preachers and bishops are putting themselves on a higher pedestal than the higher power in Jesus put themselves on a higher pedestal. See, they are acting like they are on a higher pedestal than Jesus, than the higher power. Because see, the higher power and Jesus didn't need all that. They didn't need all that. So it's given they're putting themselves above Jesus and the higher power. Let that sink in. That's all I got to say on that. Now, let's talk about these yamps. These yamps, they said them yamps gonna be cut off on the 1st of November. Now, it's a lot of people cutting up and acting a fool about these yamps being cut off on November the 1st. Okay? Now, but the thing I have a problem with is that they're making it like Black people are the face of getting and receiving food stamps. No. We're not going to do that because, first of all, Black people are not the majority that gets food stamps. Okay? Let's get that straight. Okay? And I'm not feeling what I'm hearing. Okay? And so you got these right here. So they said that, yeah, because of the pause, the Yamps going to be held up. Now, what it is Congress, you got your Dems and your Republicans and your reps. They are going at it about this here Affordable Care Act premiums. Okay? Now, they've been at it ever since September the 30th. They've just been at it. Well, longer than that. They just been at it. Okay? Now, the Dems say they won't support such a bill unless the reps agree, among other things, to extend expiring subsidies for Affordable Care Act premiums. Who benefits off that, family? Who benefits off Affordable Care Act premiums? Because see, the Dems say they're not budging unless those Republicans go ahead on and approve their Affordable Care Act premium. And if they don't, then they ain't gonna budge. Just shut the place down. Shut it down. Okay? Well, here we had looked it up. Under the Affordable Care Act, most immigrants are eligible for health insurance, including the following groups: lawful permanent residents or green card holders, lawful temporary residents, persons fleeing prosecution, including refugees and analysts. Okay? Now, so I asked, how many Black Americans receive Affordable Care Act? They said 1.7 million Black Americans was enrolled in the Marketplace Plan, and that's the ACA program, okay? So then I said, oh, okay. I said, well, how many Caucasians, get that? They said 7.5 million white people get Affordable Care Act. I said, oh, okay. So you got 1.7 Black Americans receive it. And then you got 7.5, let's say white people receive it, okay? So we'll say about 9-10 million Black Americans and white Americans use it, okay? Then I asked overall, because see, when I tried to ask for how many immigrants use it, wouldn't tell me, family. It wouldn't tell me. It just said, we can't tell you a real definite number for how many immigrants on it, but they could tell me a real definite number on how many Black Americans is on it and how many white Americans is on it. But when I got to ask how many immigrants on it, it said they couldn't give me a definite answer. So I said, okay, how many people is on it, period? Because I could subtract the number, okay? And that's what I did, family. And there you go. It says approximately 24.3 million is on that Affordable Care Act, okay? Well, if 24 million is on it, only 7.5 white Americans on it, 1.7 Black Americans. I'll give you 10. I'll give you 9. The rest of it goes to the immigrants. So I just want to show y'all that they up their plan with this pause, and the majority of the fight is not for Black Americans and it's not for white Americans. It's basically the majority of people that own it is immigrants. There's nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to show people that. Okay? Now, the shutdown pause, SNAP benefit They stopped it, okay? So in Arizona, it's 855,000 people that will not be getting it, point blank, period, okay? And they also said in Alabama, they're not going to get it in Alabama either, okay? Not for the month of November, not right now, because they on a pause. The government is on a pause. And I just showed y'all why they on a pause, okay? We had to get that straight so y'all can have that understanding. Now, it's going to hurt about 42 million people. Okay. Well, sorry to hear that. But what I still say that Black people are not the face or the majority that receive food stamps. Okay. And according to the data, white Americans aren't either. Okay. So, and I'll show y'all that too. So, check it out. Because I just wanted to show y'all this, that they said they're gonna have to stop it for November. Don't know about December, but they will be stopping it for that. But just listen to these people, then I'm gonna show y'all the numbers. Because see, this right here is giving setup. It's giving setup. Because see, when I seen a lot of the Black people that was on here complaining about food stamps, I said, wow, that's funny, because Black people are not even the majority that receive food stamps. The majority of the people that receive food stamps, they're very quiet. Why is that? So it's given that this is a setup to get Black people riled up. That's what it's given. But anyway, let's go ahead on and hear what a lot of these people were saying. It sounds like it's staged to me. I'm sorry. It sounds staged to me. It really do. But I'm going to let y'all hear what some of these people were saying about not getting food stamps. And the first one y'all going to hear is this one here on the far left-hand side. Yeah. Cutting the food about the yams.
Trump, I'm going to take it just like this. What the mean? Who ain't getting that goddamn food stamps in goddamn November? Because I'm getting my goddamn shit. I don't know about the rest of you motherfuckers, but I'm getting my shit. Because I'm going to take it just like this on Jesus Lamar Christ. I will be at Walmart with my steel toes on and my helmet, and I kept trying to stop me from walking out that with my groceries. Baby, I'm 250 pounds solid. Baby, you want to see a human bulldozer, baby? Because that's what the I'm turning into. If you think you going to stop me from leaving out that goddamn store with my monthly groceries that I get every goddamn month, I ain't bothering no goddamn body, okay? Why the fuck is y'all bothering me and my goddamn food?
What?
Straight up.
What? What? Wow. Okay, let's listen to the next one.
I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the for November. Y'all better stay the on my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit. Trump, if you want, what's gonna happen? Before my kids go broken, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card, food that bitch say ain't no pending balance on there. I'm going to walk the out. And I'm gonna have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your ass so hard you gonna think a Jet 2 holiday hit your.
First of all, now listen to this.
If they stop my food stamps, me and my man will be at the grocery store walking out with two big ass carts, and nobody better do nothing because my man coming hard behind me, and it only take him one time to punch your ass.
Okay, so she said her and her man is gonna go in there and take food up out of there. Why is your man with you, ma'am? Why is he not working so you don't have to be on these yamps? And he probably eating more than you and the kids. And he ain't even certified to be on the damn yamps. Why is this? Family, we got to do better. She thought that was cute. She really thought that was cute. Talking about me and my man gonna walk in there. We're gonna take all the food because we want our stamps. What? He ain't even supposed to be on there anyway. That's for you and your kids. And they probably eating peanut. You just told us that the kids eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and you and him eat steak. Which they'll probably throw you off for the food stamps anyway, just for making that comment. You done went up there and told on yourself. No, that man ain't supposed to be in that house. Most likely. You're probably on Section A and everything else, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. My thing is, you're getting up here acting like it's the end of the world instead of spending wisely. They've been telling people this ever since, what, a month ago? Y'all didn't save up. I'm just asking a question. Well, it just looked like you had to take the kids over to grandma's house. Now, listen to this man.
Got an email from ABT. I used to get $740 a month for my 2 kids. And we're not getting EBT no more. They took the EBT. They saying I gotta work 20 hours a week. I'm not working for nobody. Get the out of here. This is what Americans, taxpayer, work for us. They work for me. They gotta help me feed my kids. Get the out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be quitters now. Y'all been helping us all this time. Now y'all want to tap out. Get the out of here. I want my EBT, yo. I want my EBT, and I'm not working for nobody. I'm a boss. What the is like working when the government is here to help? Come on, y'all send all that money to Iraq, Ukraine. Y'all funding all these wars, but when it's time to help the Americans, y'all don't want to help us.
Okay, this sounds like a setup, family. This all sounds like a pure D setup, okay? Now, let me tell y'all why I said that this is a setup. Because first of all, we ain't the majority, and they got all these brown skins coming up here acting like we ain't finna do that. We ain't finna do that, trying to get the rest of the Black Americans to get riled up. See, I know a setup when I hear one. I know a setup. This sounds staged for a man to sit up there and say, I ain't going to work. I'm not going to work. It's y'all taxpayers that's supposed to help me. And females saying the same thing. There's some females out here, they got on the internet saying the same thing. It sounds like they paid and bought. It sounds like they paid and bought. Y'all didn't hear me. It sounds like they paid and bought to come up here and start a frenzy with Black Americans, to get Black Americans to get riled up and upset. Oh yeah, we ain't gonna do that. Ain't right. That ain't right. But I'm gonna tell you what is given to me. It's given to me that Black people will not get out there and protest, okay? With all that ICE mess and all that stuff going on, okay? So what better way to kind of bring Black people out is if you start playing with the food stamps and hoping that the little majority that's on the food stamp will start getting in a frenzy, and then the rest of the Black people gonna have their back, and then they'll be out there protesting. Then all of a sudden they'll mix the ICE protest with this here protest. That's what it's giving. And now you got the Black people out there finally. So now Congress has not, the Dems have not even budged, and I think it's to see if it's gonna be any protest with Black people. And then here come the protests that they got going on, combining with the food stamp protests. It's giving setup to me. It's giving pure D setup. It sounds like these people on the internet who saying all this, because how they saying it sounds staged. How they are wording it sounds staged. It sounds like somebody has paid them to do this to get Black Americans riled up. Y'all please hit that like button. Yes, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like a pure D setup. It sounds like a pure D setup. As y'all see, only 27% of Black Americans is on Snap. Only 27% Black Americans is on snaps. So when you hear people out here talk about, oh, you know, Black people on food stamp, Black people on food stamp, Black people on food stamp, Black people, you know, Black people need help, or Black people always begging, Black people, no. It's not but 27% of us on. And that number there is too high because there's a lot of people that's portraying that they are Black Americans and really not Black Americans. So that number needs to come down a little bit more as well. But we're going to stay with it. 27% of Black Americans is on Snap. Okay? 36 to 37% of white Americans is on Snap. So see, that's why I said all this stuff sounds staged. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I said quiet in here, 13% of the population. I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So then once again, family, they don't want to give us the number of the immigrants that's on SNAP. And they say because it's difficult to give me an exact number of immigrants on food stamp because of the data variations, because some of them are not registered. Remind you, in some sanctuary cities that when they come over here, illegal immigrants, they just give them a card for them to be on food stamps. So they can't give you an exact number of how many of them are on food stamps because some of them are undocumented, but they still get food stamps over here. Okay, so they say they couldn't give me an exact number. But once again, Black Americans are not the majority that gets food stamps. Because if you take that 36, if you take that 30, 36, 37%, and then you just add it with that 27%, actually, those numbers are too high because it's a lot of people that's saying that they white Americans and they're not, and there's a lot of people who saying that they Black Americans and they're not. So the majority of people who get food stamps are not Black Americans, point blank period. So that's why I said all that hoopla, hurrah, all that stuff that's on that internet with these Black people or Black women, men, that food stamp, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to steal. It's to try to make us look bad and to make us try to get in an uproar. That's what that is. It seems staged at its finest. You just listen at the wording of it. Yeah. They really do. Now, I just wanted to tell y'all that. Yeah, these people here are plants. They plants. Somebody done paid them. That's my opinion. Somebody done paid them. Yeah. Somebody done paid them to get up there and act a fool. Yeah. Get us all in an uproar. Make us come out and start protesting and stomping for food stamps. Yeah. It ain't gonna work because we gonna peep game. Y'all gotta peep game. Now let's talk about Preston here, and then I'm gonna close out and I'll take a couple of phone calls if y'all want to. But Preston here was celebrating his brother's birthday in Chicago. His name is Preston Miller. He was celebrating, he's 38 years old, he was celebrating his brother's birthday. And they went out and everything. And then this happened September 21st, 2025, but his story just now catching some traction here with his family doing a news conference about 2 days ago. But they was out and celebrating his brother's birthday, and then him and his cousin was waiting on an Uber ride out on the street, waiting on the Uber ride to come get him, and two dudes, savages, pulled up and started arguing with Preston. And then they powed him in the chest and they drove off, and Preston fell to his demise. Okay. I want y'all to hear the story right quick because Preston does need justice. Okay. Now check out what they said about it.
I used to always joke and say, you're not ready for the world, baby, bro, but never was I ready for the world.
Right here talking.
Soon after this picture was taken, unexpected loss followed. A night that was filled with joy just turned into tragedy. Robert Hunter's birthday celebration ended in bloodshed after his older brother, Princeton Miller, was gunned down right in front of their cousin as Hunter waited for them at a nearby bar. It happened in the early morning hours of September 21st near Halstead and Lake in the West Loop. Miller's family says he was standing outside waiting for an Uber ride when he got into an argument with two men he did not know who were in a car. One of them then pulled out a gun.
Had it been the person that he had the altercation with, it may have been different. but the driver was not in danger of Preston. He's the one that pulled the trigger. He endangered his passenger as well as shooting Preston. You didn't have to shoot to kill him. You didn't have to do that. He was not an imminent threat to you or anybody. And you had no regard for life at that point.
Police say the two drove off while the 38-year-old was shot in his chest and later died at the hospital, leaving behind his 3-year-old daughter and 2 stepdaughters, wife, younger siblings, and parents, just as his passions for modeling and DJing were flourishing.
But then at nighttime, she cries for her daddy. I want my daddy. But my daddy is not here.
That's his wife.
I reached out to Chicago police to get an update on this case. A spokesperson confirmed to me that 2 men were taken in for questioning, but were later released without charges.
Okay, they said that the police did pick up 2 people for questioning, but they was released without charges. Then they said that Preston was waiting on an Uber ride. Who was these 2 men that they picked up for questioning and they let go? I'm wondering, was these 2 men that was picked up and taken for questioning immigrants? Was they immigrants or was they black men? I find it quite strange that the 2 men was picked up, questioned, and then released. They picked them up for something, but they was released. And this was in Chicago. And we do know Chicago is a sanctuary city where most of the time when they pick up immigrants for a crime, they are quickly released. And then a lot of them do Uber rides. Uber share, they work for Uber. But they was quickly released. So I'm just asking a question. Were those 2 men immigrants, or were they black males that y'all let go? Or was they 2 white males that y'all let go? Or was they white and a black male that y'all let go? That question we really needs to know. They will not say. So the family is coming up asking for justice. Mm-hmm. And y'all heard his wife talking, and he left behind a 3-year-old daughter. He's married, and his stepdaughter. And people, we have to understand, when we are married or we're in a relationship and we're living with a partner or something like that, even if you're not living with your partner and y'all kind of got a little distance relationship going on or something like that, if you're real serious about that person, stay your ass home. Stay your ass home. It's time. That's in Chicago. When you have a family and things like that, y'all need to plan y'all birthday parties at the house. Like he was celebrating his brother's birthday party. Well, what he should have did, they should have had a basement party. They should have had a living room party. Invite the whole family over, backyard party. Because obviously, Chicago is high in crime. And it seems like the ones who are doing something for themselves, prospering in life, are the ones who get the sour end of the stick. And it's been since September 21st when this happened. Nobody is in custody. And stop arguing with random people anyway. They said he was waiting on the Uber ride, and then he got into an argument with a person, and then pow, and then he's gone. That's all they say. And they picked up 2 guys, and that was it. They let the guys go. So I feel like the family need to push more, strap up their boots, and put their boots on the ground for Preston. Because sitting at that round table and just, telling the local news or something like that, that ain't gonna get it. You see what all the other black parents and family members been doing. That was even with the car. They got out putting out flyers. They got out looking. Even with Kada Scott, her family was pushing. Her family, her father and her mother was pushing out there on the streets until it started catching traction. That's what this family is going to have to do. Because the police obviously had two that they brought in for questioning and then released them. Why is that? In his case, if they don't put boots on the ground harder than this, because I just it came across my feed because this is what I do. I love to help families get justice. And for some reason, Preston Miller's story was dead up there on my laptop when I opened it. So I felt I should talk about it. And he needs justice. It's been over a month now, and nobody has said anything. Police, detectives, nobody said anything about Preston's. Where's his case stand? Who was the guys that y'all detained and let go? What kind of involvement did they have in it? Why did y'all even pick them two up? Anyway, was they on surveillance? Is some surveillance? Is this smack dead in the middle of like downtown? It's surveillance there. Where's the surveillance tape at? Y'all picked these guys up for some reason. Y'all saw them somewhere. What's really going on? What happened? What happened? And they was let go. And if this family don't put boots on the ground harder than this, his case gonna become a cold case. He was a family man. Another black man gone. Another black family tore apart. Another little girl without her father. Another mother without a son. Another brother without his brother. Living a great life. Doing well for himself. And in a split second, waiting on an Uber ride, he gone. But you let the governor that eat all them hot dogs in Chicago, and if you let the mayor there with the peacock haircut, you let them tell it crime is down. Crime is not a problem. It's down. We have got crime down significantly. Tell that to his parents. Because that's not what it's given. Wow. You got two savages that just took a life and somewhere out there on those Chicago streets, probably still either driving Uber or driving that same area, looking for another victim. Boy, I tell you. Wow. The only thing I could say, especially if you're living in Chicago, man, y'all need to start having house parties, basement parties, backyard parties, some. But going out there, it's damn near a war zone out there in Chicago. I'm telling you. Everybody pitch in and bring dishes to the house. Somebody bring the macaroni and cheese, somebody bring the turkey, somebody bring the ham, somebody bring the greens and all that, and everybody celebrate birthdays and all that type of stuff at the house. Totally disturbing. Well, I'm going to open up the line for anybody that want to briefly talk about any of these cases that we have talked about tonight. Feel free to call 678-439-4517. Feel free to call that number if y'all would like to discuss any one of these topics that we talked about, or if you just want to chit chat for a minute. Let me see what all y'all was saying. Salute to everybody that joined tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I appreciate it. Thank you, TS is handling the moderator. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Teresa, all of y'all. Thank you. Thank y'all all. Everybody who is viewing as well that just don't want to come in the chat. Thank you all as well for joining us today. TC Slots. Salute, salute. It is not possible that there are more Black Americans on EBT unless the Black folks were on EBT. They are not. Yeah. Travis, what's going on, Travis? Travis 7537. I can't type what I want about that preacher. Yes. Next to FN, they use and abuse women. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. You got that right. You got that right. I just want to tell everybody, just thank y'all so much for y'all awesome support. It is greatly appreciated. If anybody, I give y'all a couple of more minutes. I read a couple of more comments in the chat, and then after that I'll close out because it did take a long time in the family. I sure did. It did take a long time. I ain't mean for it to take this long, but I had to get some of these subjects out. I really did. I had to get some of it out. But Ham Dog says salute Cafe and everyone. Salute to you too. Salute to you too. Yep, salute to you too. Cafe. Hey, how you doing? TS in the house. TS in the house.
Thank you so much for allowing me to join.
Yes.
You got so many topics, and so does everybody else. And I just want to say, you handling this thing. I want to start with that so-called pastor that's supposed to take that money from that lady. That's where I'm going to start.
Okay. Hey, turn your TV down just a little bit.
That's what I'm getting ready to do because I got you on the TV, the laptop, the bathroom, the bedroom, the living room. Wait a minute. Okay, here. Now, I'm going to start with that pastor. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. First of all, I've been doing a lot of research and finding out that a lot of the stuff that we were taught about religion, history, education, and finances was reversed. Okay, I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to tell everybody, go do your own research, but dig deep because the rabbit hole go real deep and go to a gopher hole.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to leave that part right there. But he was wrong for what he did. And that's my opinion. Now, had it been me, I don't care who in the church. Like you say, that woman and that little boy probably did a lot of work and a lot of sacrificing to raise that money. With him being so disrespectful, I'm not going to never let a child see anybody disrespect me like that because I don't never want them to think that it's supposed to be okay for somebody to disrespect them.
Now, that's a great point.
I would have snatched it back. I didn't say take it back. I'd have snatched it back and said, oh, well, let me go talk to the Most High God about this chick. And I'd have left the church, the whole church. Not just for that day, but all together.
Right.
Because if that wasn't a red flag, that this man is just here for money, he not there to save no souls. He don't care nothing about that child. I'm going to put a period on that part because I work with kids and they dear to my heart. And what we show them, like you said, goes a long way. I can remember when I was in church and my cousin leaned over and said something to me. Now, this was a Baptist church.
Mm-hmm.
She leaned over and said something to me. We must have been about 9, 10 years old. You know, Mama used to send us to church, even if she didn't go.
Mm-hmm.
And she leaned over and said something to me. Do you know one of them elder women called my mama before we got back home and told her that we was laughing and talking in church and we got in trouble?
Wow.
So,
yeah.
I'm telling you this because this is what I remember. I was about that little boy's same age.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Never forgot that. But, and I'm gonna put a period on that because needless to say, I learned all of the lessons I needed to learn as far as going to church. I've been a Catholic, a Baptist, a Methodist, and all of that.
Right,
and
right.
I found out that the connection is not in a building, none of them preachers, none of them fake teachers, but it's with your personal relationship with the Most High, the person that created us.
Right.
For a purpose.
Right.
For a reason. And we're supposed to be helping each other and encouraging each other. And if he's at the head of that church and he showed that whole membership that, they should have been stuff.
Right.
And I'm going to leave that alone right there because that's my opinion.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, and the other thing you have up here is the SNAP program.
Yeah.
Like I typed in there and told you I used to work with that program.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You did mention that a while back, yep.
And my sister retired from them. So we're talking about over 30 years of working that program. And we had a saying when we were there, because we used to work tirelessly. We used to get there at 7. Okay, doors don't open till 8. We used to work that program until the cleaning crew was getting ready to lock the building. They had to tell us to leave at 10:30.
Wow.
Just to make sure that people that had families, disabled, elderly, had their benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We don't know what the reason is they need it. It's not for us to know. We were serving the needy and the greedy. It's not for us to judge which one we serving, but when you serve the Creator, you don't question that.
Mm-hmm.
You do your job and you go home. Mm-hmm. Because we're here to help, encourage, and learn. But here's the kicker, Cafe. And this is the problem in this whole country. This is the reason why the country is in the state it's in. A lot of people haven't learned the lesson, and so we have to keep repeating this shit. Mm-hmm. People don't want to learn. Everybody want to be selfish and me. Who all wants to sacrifice to help? Very few in that line. Mm-hmm. So we got people getting up every day, rushing to work. This is my own observation, and I'm in a big city. Rushing to work on the freeway to get to work, but drag their ass going home. So it made me think there's a lot of people ain't happy at home. They ain't happy with themselves, but they keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Mm-hmm. In the meantime and in between time, you said it right. Long as we work that program, and we right here by the border with an international city, one of the major cities in the country, the majority of the clients come, and we work more than one office, honey. We done worked about 5 or 6 offices in the city. The majority of the clients coming in there are everybody other than blacks. The majority of the people working the program for the people, watch this, are black. Right. So I'm not going to let anybody come on your live or anybody else's live that I'm listening to and degrade my people. We worked hard to make sure that families have what they need in order to have a nutritional meal. Mm-hmm. No, we're not going to the store to watch what they buy. That's not our job. Well, we want to make sure the babies eat, the children eat, the elderly eat, the disabled eat. And watch this, here the kicker. There's a lot of veterans on that program. Mm-hmm. While everybody running down who's on the program, but watch this. The kicker is, I'm sitting here listening on a lot of platforms, and I'm thinking to myself, now it might just be me, but I'm thinking to myself, instead of them running down whoever's getting the benefits that need them, why don't y'all raise this hell with the people that gave themselves a raise and took their ass home? They got 5 homes, one of them being a beachfront home. Why don't y'all talk about their ass on all these damn platforms? Instead of running down the people that need it, instead of running down the people that basically work for the program. Anytime they mention black people and SNAP benefits or the EBT card, I want everybody to remember it's mostly black people that's processing those benefits for everybody, no matter what nationality or race they are. I want everybody that's listening to remember that.
Right.
We will die ass off.
Right. And so and that is true. It's a lot of Black American working inside of the government assistance programs. Rather it's applying for Section 8, applying for housing, applying for whatever. Yeah. It's a lot of Black Americans working inside of those facilities. But then
always help people.
Right.
People they're not gonna dog my people out and make it like we just sitting around like we the most working people in the freaking fracking country. If what they worried about is if we ever stop working, this bitch gonna fall for real. Yeah. Okay, so they need to get off of that and find another topic.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to say something about that, because it's a lot of like I said, to me, they are paid people to come on here and act like they cutting up and they want to put a face on the Black Americans, the Black men and the Black women, that we all is hurting us so badly because we are the majority that receives it. So that's why I wanted to break it down and show people the numbers. No, we are not. Right. And you can debunk anybody throughout this world who says we are, because we're not.
Research, pull up the statistics.
Exactly.
The statistics are nationwide. You can pull up your state, you can pull up your city, you can pull up your county, you can pull up rural, you can pull up urban. Go do your own damn research.
Exactly.
And quit running your mouth to run my people down.
Yeah, but
don't do that.
Right.
They don't need to do that.
Right. But it's all a setup. And I feel like
I agree.
Yeah, I feel the ones who doing it are paid.
Yeah, and I believe that, but I'm also letting the people, because there are some people that be listening that be believing those people, and I want them to know, like you said, those people sound like puppets that's paid.
They do.
And I'm at the point. Let me just say this. Shit, I'm about to take over your live. Let me just say this. The people the indigenous people that's in this country, we chilling. We don't give a damn who go in the street. We did our job. So I don't know why they keep wanting us to get out there and get with them, because when we was out there all the times for George Floyd, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice, and everything we've been out there for since before the 50s, we done fought civil wars. We ain't getting out there for shit. We gonna chill.
Yeah.
We gonna do what we need to do.
Free time. Yeah. You know?
For once in our life, before we leave this earth realm, we gonna do some self-care, some self-healing. We're going to take care of our families, and we're going to chill and let them do it. Since they have such a good time talking about us, we're going to sit back and watch what they do, since they think they tougher than us. Since they think they got this, let's see what they got.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can talk about it later on. Now, I'm going to leave that where it is. I'm going to put a period because I get hyped about my people. I love my people.
Mm-hmm.
Just like every other people on earth. Mm-hmm. Some of us have shortcomings and some of us are gifted. Mm-hmm. Everybody know what category they in. They need to get in their category and stay in.
Right.
If they're not trying to elevate, then they don't need to try to do anything else. Just stay where they at. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna go to this brother that was shot on the street in Chicago now.
Preston Miller, right?
Preston Miller. I didn't even hear that story, Cafe, but let me just touch on it for a second. That brother sounded like he was set up.
Yeah.
That brother sounded like he was targeted. Mm-hmm. Now, the brother that was at Delta State that was hung, when they did the second autopsy, they found out some of his organs was missing.
Yeah, I did see that, yeah. Yeah.
It was something hit my spirit. They say they need to check and see if that brother organs is missing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something real shaky, flaky, and I seen his family.
Suspicious.
Yeah. And his family is, they was on the news just 2 days ago, and that was the first time I guess it's been a month now because it was September the 21st. And so it's been a month, but like you said, they did apprehend two. Question them, and then they were detained, two of them, and then they let them go quickly, but we don't know what nationality they are. We don't know who they were, any of that.
And the family, cops. We don't know. It could have been two cops.
You never know.
Because I remember two cops was beating a brother in New York, and Tupac was coming out of somewhere and saw him, and he ended up shooting. I don't know if you remember that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They didn't have on uniforms. They didn't have a card that was marked. Mm-hmm. So Tupac just thought it was two guys beating up this brother, and he went to help him. He didn't know they were cops till after he shot. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna leave that where it is. They can look that up and research that. Now I'm gonna go to Kada Scott's case, and I'm just gonna touch on it real quick. Like I said in the comment, I think they need to move that case. That sounds like a conflict of interest right there. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to take up no more of your time, sister. You know I love you.
I love you too. We love you. Yes, the Knowledge family love you. We love you. We appreciate it. You be rocking the moderator. You be rocking that rant time.
Trying to rock it. I wish they would come to your platform with a whole bunch of bull crap.
Yeah.
I should have put in there, we OGs. Don't come over here with that stuff.
Yeah, we are OGs. We are. We really are. And I really do appreciate everything that you do. You've been with me from day one, way, way, way back. So I just appreciate you hanging in there. You always say you're going to rock till the wheels fall off.
And that's what I'm going to do.
And
that's what I'm going to do.
And I sure
and then when they fall out, we're going to go get them fixed.
Yeah, we're going to go get them fixed. We're going to put that spell on it for a minute until we get the original fix.
Okay. Thank you so much, Queen. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. Appreciate you too. Okay, love you.
Everybody in the chat that support and did the thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks to all of y'all.
Yes.
Y'all, good evening.
And you too. Okay. All right.
Bye-bye. Ciao.
Okay, TS was in the house. TS was in the house. Moderator in the house. Appreciate, salute. And I just want to give everybody a special thank you. Every one of y'all, all our subscribers, old, new, each and every one of y'all, everybody in the chat, everybody who just views the channel, just want to give a special thanks to y'all. My heart goes out with big hugs and love to you all, because like I always say, this would not be possible without you all. I just appreciate y'all just hanging in there with the OG, old Triple G, old Lady G. Appreciate it. And I love y'all so much. Please don't forget to hit the like button, share. Subscribe to the channel if you are not a subscriber already. Love y'all. And hey, we're going to call it the night. It's been a long night. Thank y'all so much. Sending loves and hugs. Bye-bye, y'all. Oh, well, I should have, well, I have to do that another time. But I did want to say, I don't know if it's still going on or not, but I wanted to give Jim Carter a shout out for his donation in the last video. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sending loves and hugs. Your generosity is greatly appreciated. Bye-bye.